So Marvel Phase 4, it's been a little underwhelming. As of the writing of this video, the last Marvel Studios film I've watched in cinemas was Spider-Man No Way Home. The last time I watched a Marvel Disney Plus show was in December 2021 with Hawkeye. And I guess the reason for that is that I've kind of become a little bit jaded with the way that Marvel Studios are making their movies and TV shows now. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you rewatched one of the more recent Marvel Studio films outside of Infinity War, Endgame, or No Way Home, or even rewatched a scene from one of the more recent Marvel films on YouTube? For me, I honestly couldn't even tell you. What I have rewatched lately though is Logan. Logan, it's a great film. What I love about it is that it's a film with a point to it. It's a story the director James Mangold wanted to tell, and it's a story that needed to be told. I've been rewatching a lot of scenes from it on YouTube lately, and man, they really stick with you. That opening scene where Logan kills some dudes trying to steal his rental limo, the farmhouse where the family gets murdered, Xavier dying, when Logan has to bury Xavier and just loses it and starts wrecking his Jeep with a shovel, and of course that ending. It's powerful stuff. Scenes like these, they make you think, they make you empathize with the characters, and most importantly, they make you feel something. And I can't think of a time in recent memory where a Marvel Studios movie outside of No Way Home has actually made me feel something or actually made me want to go back and rewatch certain scenes from it, like Logan did. These newer Marvel films have become so bland, and not just with the storylines either. It's the look of the films too. It's the way they're shot, it's the colour grading, it's all so uncreative. They're not trying to make these films look different from one another anymore. They're not trying to do anything interesting with the visuals or the action scenes. And it's all because Marvel has a formula that, up until relatively recently, could be relied upon to deliver a safe, inoffensive and forgettable product that averages between 600 to 800 million plus at the global box office. I'm guessing that deviating from this formula is actively discouraged by the higher-ups at Disney. They don't want the writers to take chances with their characters that might be considered controversial. They don't want to tackle any subject matter that might prevent the film from being shown in China. It's filmmaking by committee. Every Marvel film needs to have 14.58 jokes, the villain can't be too scary or menacing, no blood, no cursing. Bland is the order of the day, because bland, up until relatively recently, was bringing in the numbers. Why would Marvel Studios, or I guess I should say Disney, want to take risks when playing it safe has been working for them? Why bother innovating when you don't have to? And because they feel they don't need to innovate or try something new to get people's attention anymore, they become lazy, their stories have become stagnant. I'm not saying that Marvel needs to up the age rating of their movies to have more cursing or violence, or to explore more adult themes, but what I am saying is that Marvel needs to get back to delivering films that do something new with their stories and their characters. They need to start innovating again like they did with the first Iron Man film and Captain America the Winter Soldier. I think this might be where Warner Brothers and DC might actually have an edge on Marvel Studios in the next few years. General audiences look to be getting tired of the silly, disposable content that Marvel are pumping out. With James Gunn focusing on delivering superhero films and TV shows that are really different, like The Authority, and films that explore themes like his new Superman movie, people might just be more interested in seeing films that are legitimately coming from a creative place, rather than ones that are just being made to fill a gap in a release calendar. Now, I'm not one of these YouTubers that loves to see a film bomb at the box office, but Ant-Man 3 not doing so well is actually kind of a good thing. Marvel Studios do need a wake-up call to shake them out of their complacency and remind them that they can't just keep phoning these films in anymore. They actually need to put time and effort into them. They need to start telling stories that people can get excited about seeing again, instead of just pumping out content, which is what they're in the business of doing right now. What's kind of annoying is that Marvel looks to be jumping over some really interesting story ideas to make some really uninspired movies. I mean, it would have been nice if we got a film actually exploring what this world looked like during the blip. This was the most catastrophic thing to happen in this world. Half of all life in the universe is blinked out of existence, but we never actually explore the impact this disaster has on the world or the people who live in it. It's basically just skipped over, and mostly it's kind of treated as a joke. This is a massive missed opportunity. You could really make a different superhero story set during this time period, but Marvel had zero interest in exploring it. Here's another example. Take Spider-Man No Way Home. Peter Parker's identity is now known to everyone on the planet, and while I would have preferred Spider-Man to have been a little bit older for a storyline like this, it's still a really cool setup for a story. There's a lot you can do with this idea, but what did Marvel actually do with it in the end? Well, not much. The biggest impact to Peter's life is that basically his friends didn't get into the college they wanted to go to, and there were a few angry protesters outside his high school this one time. What I really wanted to see was Peter's life totally turned upside down. I want to see villains he put away start coming after his friends and his family. You know, maybe pay off something with this guy that they set up a few years ago. I wanted to see Peter actually being impacted by his identity being put out there. It would have been nice if we could have gotten one full film just dealing with the fallout of his identity being known before we got to No Way Home. I want the Marvel films to be events again. I want films and shows like Logan and Netflix's Daredevil. Movies and shows with an actual theme to explore or point to make. Something I'll come back to again and again. It's just really grating to me as a long-time Marvel Comics reader to see Marvel Studios basically just treading water with uninspired paint-by-number stories that go nowhere and leave the characters pretty much in the same place we started with them. Stop undercutting what should be dramatic moments with dumb jokes like Nick Fury's eye in Captain Marvel and the destruction of Asgard in Thor Ragnarok. I want to see Marvel tell stories that are actually worth telling and not pointless stories that only exist to fill another entry in a franchise or set up other future films. I want to see Marvel Studios stop playing it so safe and try to make their own answer to The Dark Knight or Matt Reeves' The Batman. Go make that Spider-Man movie about a Spider-Man that doesn't pull his punches anymore, or make that Spider-Man 4 film with Tobey Maguire about a Spider-Man that's getting older. Try and do something different. Try and make a film people will remember fondly instead of barely remembering at all. But what do you think? What do you think of the latest Marvel Studios films, and what would you like to see Marvel change? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.